Way to go, Becca. Unbelievable. Good job.
Macomb Composite High School graduation ceremony. My name is Delaney Howard.
And my name is Amy McInnes, and we are your mistresses of ceremonies.
Firstly, I would like to welcome our special guests. If you could please stand when I say your name. First of all, we have our MLA, Mr. Rod Fox. Our superintendent, Dr. Larry Jacobs. And our trustees, Mr. Bob Huff and Mrs. Barb Walker.
We would like to remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones and also inform you that there's a professional photographer. Therefore, we ask that no one else go to the graduation floor area.
And now, please rise for the singing of O Canada, accompanied by Natalie and Eileen Humble.
Mr. Ben Schultz.
Ben, can you please come up to the stage? I know I'm sick. Good afternoon, graduates and guests. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Macomb Composite High School's salutatorian, Ben Schultz. What is a salutatorian, you ask? Oh yeah, we can clap for him.
He sure doesn't look like me.
A salutatorian has the second highest average of this year's 237 graduates. Ben had originally wanted 2 people to introduce him. Just because you're second doesn't mean you get 2 people. He wanted to ask Mr. Sabai and myself, but Mr. Sabai couldn't be here this afternoon. He wanted to do that because he thought it would be funny. As we all know, Mr. Sabai never tells jokes or is humorous, and I never laugh. I had the pleasure of teaching Ben math during his first semester at LCHS, the year the school caught on fire. When I mentioned to his dad, a science teacher at our school, that Ben was going to be in my math class, he said, "That's awesome! You guys are a lot alike. Great sense of humor and very sarcastic. He's nothing like me." Not only did I teach Ben math, but he was a star in my connections class too. This is where I found out about how competitive Ben really is. Can you say tape ball? Ben has been in French immersion since he was in kindergarten, so when he gives his speech, you may have to use the translators in the seats in front of you. Just kidding, this is Central Alberta, no one speaks French. Ben has growing up. He probably does not remember, but when he was a little gaffer, he was skating at the rink after school. And myself and another teacher came along to practice skating before the big staff student hockey game. It's amazing that myself, a good stubble jumper that I am, needed to practice skating, but I did. It was evident that I would need more practice when the 5- and 6-year-olds were skating circles around me. Thanks for not tripping me, Ben. Soccer has been Ben's lifeblood. He's played since he was a little ankle biter, indoor, outdoor, it didn't matter, as the over 25 medals he has proves. Ben was even lucky enough to have his dad coach him. Ben volunteers to coach soccer to young kids who are learning. If you ask the kids who are in his soccer camps, he's an incredible player and an awesome role model. Ben has a loving family that supports him in all his endeavors. In 2005, when Ben was 10, the Schultzes moved to Australia for a year where Ben did such crazy things as climbing that big red rock, cliff jumping, and hanging out at the Australian Zoo, where he got to meet the late great Steve Irwin and his daughter Bindi. While in Australia, Ben had a birthday party in August, which is their winter. At his birthday party, the kids went swimming, even though it was only 25 degrees Celsius. The other children's parents were appalled that anyone would let their kids go swimming in such cold temperatures. And we in central Alberta finally got that weather! The travel bug hit the Schultzes, and 5 years later it's off to Africa. In Africa, Ben tutored at an orphanage, went on a safari where he saw a lion take down a leopard. Even the tour guide hadn't seen that before. Witnessed an elephant mourn her stillborn calf. The highlight of his trip was climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Ben and his dad woke at midnight to climb to the summit to see the sunrise. Despite his asthma, Ben made it to the top. This shows Ben's perseverance to see such an awe-inspiring moment in time. His mom, Kathy, and his dad, Steve, couldn't be prouder of their son. Although Ben is sometimes embarrassed by his dad's thriftiness, in his words, my dad would spend an extra $30 to use a 5-cent coupon. Ben has 2 younger siblings, Michaela and Andrew, who are lucky to have a role model like Ben. Don't worry, Ben has not been perfect though. Ben has received a red card in his past. When he was 5, he cut off his sister's ponytail. She was fine with it, and him being such an organizer that he had everything neatly placed in the garbage can. Ben has many qualities that will make him successful as he heads to RBC next year, to enter the pre-professional program in the sciences with the end goal of being a doctor. He is determined, a perfectionist, very loyal, extremely competitive, a true friend, and he does it all with a great smile. Please join me in congratulating Ben on the honor of being the Macomb Composite Salutatorian of 2013. In his words, stolen from Einstein, the secret to creativity is hiding resources.
Wow.
Thank you, Ms. Witherspoon. Friends, family, teachers, and fellow classmates, we are gathered here today to celebrate the end of a lengthy chapter of our lives and to thank those for helping us along our way. Although I am thrilled to be the salutatorian for a graduating class, I wasn't exactly looking forward to giving a speech, so I procrastinated accordingly and stayed up late working on it, just to stay in the spirit of high school. But here it is. We are here at the realization of a goal many of us have been working most of our lives to achieve. As we sit here today, the moment is both joyous and bittersweet. It is joyous because we no longer have to spend another moment trying to stay awake in class, or worrying about spending our lunches in an LLO getting math help. But it is bittersweet because we now find ourselves at an endless crossroads as we now split into an infinite number of different paths. This may very well be the last time in our entire lives that we see each other again. So it is especially important that we cherish these last few moments together, because for some, this is goodbye. Good or bad, we will always remember LCHS. For Miss Weatherspoon's laugh that can be heard from across the school. For Mr. Sabay's jokes that could make you smile no matter how bad you felt. For Madame Lepage's classroom, where we learned to speak French with a British accent. And for Mr. Lockhart's willingness to step outside his, and often our, comfort zones. And finally, here's to EcoVision's recycling initiative. Sorry, Dad. I can recount a memory about each teacher, but we'd be here all day. Throughout the years, we have made unexpected friendships and grown away from ones we thought would last a lifetime. Have faced obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome. Laughed until we cried. Some of us have even become professional procrastinators. Overslept, underslept, and then stayed up all night just to do it again. On the way, we were touched by amazing friends, inspirational teachers, and people who were just downright awesome, like the brilliant Austin Erickson. But honestly, no hard feelings. Congratulations. As time has passed, we've been shaped into the people we are today, our own unique personalities. We're now moving on with our lives to bigger and better things. And if not that, perhaps at least being able to sleep in a little later in the weekdays. Lastly, there are a few important things I've learned throughout my high school years, which I wish to pass on to my fellow classmates. First of all, pursue what you are passionate about, because it will bring you true contentment. Secondly, there will always be troubles in life, so cherish the good times. And finally, keep a positive attitude and work hard, whether you want to be a politician, climb Mount Kilimanjaro, or work from 9 till 5. John F. Kennedy once said, "Those who look only to the past and the present are certain to miss the future." We cannot look at today as the finish line, but we must use what we have learned as a foundation upon which the rest of our lives will be spent. What becomes of us now is defined by dedication to our goals. Tomorrow, we begin a new chapter in our lives as we embark down a long and unknown road. But tonight is our night, where we celebrate what we have done and accomplished together. To wrap this up, I'm proud to be here graduating today as a member of the awesome class of 2013. And good luck to us all.
Ben Schultz. There's a quote that I think Ms. Weatherspoon will use as well. It's, "The secret to creativity is knowing how to hide your sources." From Albert Einstein. Shannon Scott.